Hello, my name is Reverend Thomas Harper and I'm the pastor of St. Luke's United Methodist Church in Bryan, College Station. And I just wanted to remind you that this October 23rd is our Commitment Sunday. It's that time of the year that we intentionally set aside to prayerfully consider what our financial commitment in 2023 will be. You know, I have had the blessing and pleasure of being the pastor of this church for just over 2 years now. And since I have been here, we started right in the middle of a pandemic. Remember, we were right in the middle of our Making Room to Make a Difference capital campaign. Well, we finished that. We've moved out of the main building and we have made room for the Kingsgate School, which has continued to grow. It's seen a great year of growth and excitement. We started a brand new youth ministry we would call Luke's Place that takes place every Sunday evening at 5 p.m. And we really wanted to dedicate that space as a space that would be open and fun for youth to participate in. I've been very excited at what has taken place here at St. Luke's over the past 2 years. And I suspect that God has greater things down the line. So I hope you will join us in prayerfully considering what your financial pledge may be in 2023. You can get a pledge card on the campus during the services or at any point. You can also go online and make your financial pledge there. But I really want you to take this time leading up to the 23rd to be in prayer and conversation with your family and with God about what 2023 might look like for you as you join in ministry here with the church. Just recently, I did a sermon on Sunday mornings I entitled Overflowing Generosity. And I heard a sermon that's talking about commitments and Commitment Sunday that really had a story in it that stayed with me and I think captures the spirit behind why we take the time to do this. So I invite you to take a moment and listen to that. So growing up in the church and being a pastor in ministry, I've had the opportunity to hear a bunch of these Commitment Sunday type sermons. And I want to close with a story from one of those sermons that has really stayed with me. And I think kind of captures the spirit of what I want us to take away from this Sunday. There was an associate pastor who was way behind in his tithe for the year. If you're an associate pastor, that means you're a part of a bigger church that has a bunch of pastors that are under a senior pastor, and you're probably a part of a specialized ministry like prayer or young adults. And sure enough, this senior pastor emails the associate and says, "Hey, I want you to come into my office. We're going to talk about your commitment card from the previous year." The associate pastor was terrified because he knew how far behind he was. There's no way he was going to pay all that he said he would. And he also knew that he was a pastor, so he should probably be setting a good example for the church that he's a part of. Oh, I was so nervous. So he starts coming up with all of these excuses as to why he wasn't making his pledge. And he prepared them for that meeting. And sure enough, when he goes into the senior pastor's office, there's his commitment card sitting right in the middle of the table between them. And the associate starts in on his prepared excuses. And the senior pastor stops him. Takes his card and rips it up. It says, God did not mean this to be a burden. God meant this for joy. And then he handed the associate a new pledge card. And he said, go home and come up with a number and bring it back. But what if I can't give 10% of my paycheck because I can't afford that? Stop. Go home, pray with God, and come up with a number between you and God that you can give joyfully. This is the part that stayed with me. And after that, each year you will be excited to add on to that amount more and more. That's the spirit, I think, of why we do what we do. If you give your tithe out of obligation, you're just turning it into another form of legalism. Like the Jews who took the beautiful gift of rest and put a system of rules around it to be oppressive to people. No, God doesn't want to give out of obligation. God wants your heart. God doesn't just want your time. God wants your heart. God doesn't want you to just love people. God wants your heart. So when you give joyfully, you give your heart. Friends, this is an exciting time in the life of the church, and we are dreaming big as we partner with God in our community and in the world at large. And so I hope you will join us. I hope you will join us in prayerfully considering what you might give. And until next time, I hope we will see you around St. Luke's and all the things that we do in 2023. Until next time, friends, continue to love each other well. Take care.